Well, let's watch the start for number 82, Carter Rinkin, because as a volunteer, his job is on the start line. And so he was a bit nervous about getting off to a good start now as a racer into his first weekend in this car, the 82 BMW, and the third weekend. As the rest of the field, the smart and the faster cars will line up along pit lane. Kevin Townsend was the big chaser in the previous race in the Super Minis. Watch out for the Seddon father and son combo, and number 1, Graham Ball.
Now, I owe Andrew Walker, who's also starting in pit lane, a terrible apology. I accused him in yesterday's race of running out of talent, and he didn't actually. In coming into the complex, he got tapped.
Good start by Rinkin, good start by Khan, so they're away. Schultz is away. Interesting.
Beautiful looking car.
Interesting sort of livery, that one, isn't it?
There's Dave O'Connor. Mike Johnson, that's a new car. Mike just sorting it out.
Ray goes Rob Wolf and Sam Dunstall.
Joe Johnson, Mike's other half.
Yep, in the old station wagon.
I've threatened him with beating Joe today.
So the rest of the field have been unleashed.
Well, there's still more to go. We're going Harvey Gray.
So the leaders at the moment's just, where are they? Still coming out of turn 7 before they slower cars get released along pit lane. A whole stack of cars still to go. Still down now, they get going now. One of them's gone.
That's Craig Coates in the 1 Series. Fantastic little car, just a little heavy. There's a couple of old mates, Donaldson and Kennedy.
They had a great battle yesterday. Yep. There goes the higher car.
Andrew Sharp and Matt Griffin. He's a former E30 champion. Been an Aussie in the Great Aussie Driver Search. He's also been driving one of the Mortimer cars, so he is outstanding in traffic. Now, that's not the fastest car on the track, but Matt is outstanding driving in traffic. So you watch what happens on about lap 5 or 6 when all these start to bunch up.
So these cars are now being released along pit lane, so the whole field is on the track now. So the last cars are just going out of turn 1, and the first cars are just coming across the start-finish line now to finish the first lap, and all cold tyres. And 71 Seddon, he gets it wrong going into turn 2, and Ball is bang, pounced straight away.
Gone.
Picked up the ball. So that was a bit of moment there, wasn't it? It was that Matt Seddon.
After his warning, we've all had a spanking. The whole BMW series has had a spanking about exceeding track limits this morning.
So what do you mean by exceeding track limits?
Going outside the white lines.
And then running onto the concrete, running into the ruts. Especially at turn 9, and one of them gets a bit wild and loose. One of the black beamers. Because it's all about that pumicey, slippery film of little dying and dust drying onto the circuit. It just makes it hard for the cars to get a bit of grip. One of the features you have to be careful of and aware of when racing here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park on the plateau.
Thou shalt not exceed the track limits or incur the wrath of Terry.
Yes. Sobering thought.
The CROs were sent to give us a wild and serious tongue lashing. So we've obviously all taken that on board.
So you're all going to be a bit quieter and calmer here. Very exciting
absolutely.
First race. So here they go, going around turn 9. A little bit onto the dirt, but that was before then. So now they're nice within the white line, so they haven't exceeded the limits there, so that's good. Well done, team. So it's Carter Rinkin still out in front, car number 82, followed by Steve Kahn, Grant Schultz, I know nothing, David O'Connor, Wolf, Dunstall, Sam and Mike, Downey, Joe Johnson, Dawson Gray, Whitburn, Coates, Kennedy, Ross Wilson, whole stack of cars. So Rinkin goes across the start-finish line now. What's his lead? How long can he lead for? From Schultz is up to second spot. 4.3 seconds. Kahn has dropped back to third. Then it's O'Connor. So that's your top 4. 6 laps to go.
Ross Wilson, the fastest man out there, and he's got a 1:43.
Done a very good job so far.
He didn't race yesterday. Went to a wedding. No sense of priorities.
Well, he's here.
Well, at least he turned up.
Yeah. Here for the after-match function.
There's Ross Wilson. Just past Craig Coates.
Car number
series.
30. It's a nice looking Beamer, that one.
The Beamers, they're all nice looking.
Exactly. This is the higher car of
Andrew Sharp.
811, Andrew Sharp. With that brand new bold blue livery. Did David Farmer do that?
I don't know who painted that, but he's become a meet between Donaldson and Kennedy, so he split the old mates up.
So where's Graham Ball? See where they're flying. Here come the fast cars. Walker, Martin Seddon, Graham Ball. Matt Seddon's at the back of the field after his moment on cold tyres, where he basically slipped out of turn 1 and slipped into the dust on turn 2. He's going through turn 1, 7:01. Doing a good job at the moment. Michael Kennedy. He's just going past, or trying to get past, number 190. Craig Coates. Now he's going to make the move round through turn 8. Get the drive around the inside of the apex. And he's in the nice spot for turn 9, but he's got to stay within the track limits, especially up that part of the circuit. Does that nicely.
Oh, look, they've all done it.
Slide and glide.
Nothing like a spanking from Terry to make you pay attention.
Well, Carter Rinkin's doing a good job here. First weekend in that car. He's got 5 laps to go. How long can he hold on to the lead and really enjoy the pressure of racing out there in the front of the field? One of the rookies out of the volunteer brigade and into the racing brigade. Schultz is still second. O'Connor's hanging on to third.
Well, moved up into third.
He has, in front of Steve Kahn.
Come on, Dave, there's a podium in this. Now, who's that stopped over there, just coming into turn 9?
So I think it might be the Seddon. I think it might be Matt Seddon. He's had issues right from the get-go.
Oh, it's going again now.
So the field all nicely spread out. Little drag race here between 64 David Whitburn and I think it might be 39 Sam Dunstall. Number 10, Harvey Gray. He's had a look down the inside. He's made the move.
Harvey threatened he was going to give up last year. It didn't last long. Up into 5th.
Good racing lines as they come out of turn 9, so all staying in between the white lines, doing the old 660 at the moment. Great stuff. Seddon goes past right at the rear of the field, turn 11. Plenty of opportunities there. The track warming up at the moment. Nice and sunny here on a Sunday in the Speedworks Motorsport Championship. Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. Here they go. 1, 2, 3. 3 wide down the straight. All starting to close in.
The biggest mover in the field so far, I would say, is Ross Wilson. He's got a bit of a gap on those cars that he started with. And he's got nice clear track around him.
He's up to 13th at the moment. Rinkin goes across the start-finish line. 4 laps to go. The lead is 5.2 seconds. Schultz is still second. O'Connor's still third. Harvey Gray's worked his way up into the top 4 now. And the rest of the field, the faster cars are starting to follow. Starting to close up. Graham Ball's still got a big job to do. He's been very, very quick, the number 1 car. But at the moment, the 21 is flying through the infield like a flying saucer. That's Grant Schultz. Graham Ball is still coming down past Walker at the moment. They're side by side.
I think our winner will come out of
mid-pack.
One of these
blue cars.
Griffin, Sharp, Kennedy, or Walker.
So keep an eye on these cars on your live stream at the moment. With 4 laps to go, they're the ones who might be best placed to try and work their way up through the field and pinch it right on the last lap with the checkered flag, like we saw with the very exciting Super Mini Challenge in the previous race. Came right down to the last lap, the last corner, with these handicap races. But at the moment, it's great for these. What's happened to Mr. Schultz here? The Flying Saucers losing a bit of power there, isn't it? Smoking that one, Grant Schultz, number 21.
Nice new car. Won't want it smoking at that young age.
Yes. Smoke-free and dust-free, according to Terry. Especially around turn 9. Carter Rinkin still doing a good job from Snells Beach. Crossed the start-finish line with 3 laps to go. First time in that particular car, number 82. There's the leader up.
Here comes Harvey
into turn 1. Yeah, here they start to come now. So that lead is down to 4.8 seconds. 3 laps to go. Schultz is going to be under pressure, going to be swapped around turn 1. Smoking it around the corner. Something rubbing in the rear there, is it?
Bit of tyre smoke, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it might have a flat tyre because it's just stepped out sideways coming out of turn 1.
Well, he's still handling the moment, still on the track. 64 doing a good job, David Whitburn. He's closing in on Schultz. So Rinkin's about to be swamped by number 10, Harvey Gray. Oh, he locks up going into turn 7. Whitburn's got up to 3rd. Schultz is slowing down the other guys at the moment. They're not sure, are they?
No.
Where's Graham Ball? Still coming out of turn 4. So he's still got plenty of work to do. 3 laps to go. What's his speed at the moment, Graham Ball?
Dave O'Connor coming under a bit of pressure from Mike Dunstall. We might get a flag out for that smoking car of the Schultz's. It's getting worse.
Going down into the braking.
Come on, Dave, you can drop underneath him. Go, Dave, go.
Get round the inside. He's made it easy for you.
Passing move, Dave O'Connor. Sensational. Never seen before. It's a world first.
You will remind him. We have a lead change, I think. We have a lead change. Harvey Gray has grabbed Rinkin coming into the complex. O'Connor's going to get past, though. He made a pass and now he's been passed back.
And I think that's Ross Wilson looming up behind them.
He's the man you said was going to be one of the quick ones. So Harvey Gray has grabbed the lead, number 10 in the yellow BMW. Rinkin's dropped back to 3rd now. He's being passed by David
car
Whitburn.
coming off.
Yeah, Schultz's car is coming into the pits, which is good.
Retired hurt.
So a couple of laps to go, and Harvey Gray, can he hold on in the yellow machine? He's got quite a handy lead. Matt Griffin looks like to be a good challenger. Number 30's been quick too. Ross Wilson. So here he is.
Gobbling up Dave O'Connor.
Yep.
That's your moment in the sun, I think, Dave.
Some great shots there from the inside of the track cam around.
It's a great shot, isn't it?
In between
Graham Ball
4 and 5.
pushing his way through the traffic.
Matt Griffin's trying to get some run out of turn 7. So our lead is heading up towards turn 10, going through 10 into 11. And the fast cars are starting to really close the gap now. So we're going to get down to the last lap, and it's going to be all on. Just about a bit of a wiggle time. Coming out of turn 7 into turn 8. BMW Driver Series for the 2 litres, all nicely within the limits there around turn 9.
Just in case you're listening, Terry.
Yes, he is. He's watching in the control room. At the moment, he's not being too bothered. But well within the track limits there.
Andrew Walker trying to make a move on the Grinchy car.
So here comes our leaders. And we might have another lead change. Last lap.
Harvey coming
Gray,
up, having under a bit of pressure by Whitburn.
Yep. They've got a nice handy lead, though. Carter Rinkin goes across in 3rd. Now Ross Wilson. And his best time was a 1:45.8. The leaders are doing 1:49. So he's got about 4 seconds to make up. He's whipped round through into 3rd. That was a good move by Carter. He moved out of the way, let the fast cars go through. So it's Ross Wilson and Matt Griffin. They're the 2 guys we identified as potential stalkers in the game, and they're racing around turn 3 and 4. Matt Griffin having a good look down the inside, and I think he's about to grab Ross Wilson. So the 999 car, Wilson's going to come back and make a real push as they slide into turn 7 as the leaders come out of turn 7. So Whitburn has grabbed the lead from Harvey Gray, and here come the two chasers. Oh, Ross Wilson. He's not letting it go, is he?
He's not.
He's been passed. He's passed him back. And now Matt Griffin, number 99. He's going to slide and glide as they swamp through 8 into 9. Good racing here, and they're really keen. The leaders will be going into turn 11. Have these guys got enough speed? He's going to go high and wide, late and hard under brakes. Good move round the
Nice move, Matt Griffin.
Yeah, great stuff. He was the one you said may be able to do it. It's got to come down to the last corner.
He was my pick. I ran to the TAB. Put the 4th mortgage on him.
Well, will it pay off? Whoa, Ross Wilson coming back. He's got that straight line speed. Whitburn, though, I think is going to hold on here. Luckily, he didn't get to the TAB in time. 64, Dave Whitburn gets the win, takes the checkered flag.
Podium for Harvey Gray.
He gets up for 2nd. Sprint finish for 3rd. Matt Griffin holds on from the flying Ross Wilson. 7:01. Michael Kennedy comes in. Graham Ball all the way from the rear of the pit lane up to P6. And then in the end, Mike Dunstall 7. Carter Rinkin started on pole, ends up in 8th. Martin Seddon coming home in 9th. Andrew Walker 10th. And then the rest of the field, O'Connor, Donaldson, Johnson, Wolf, Sharp, Dunstall, Downey. And Seddon's not going to be the last one home. He's going to leave that for the other man who started on pole, Steve Kahn. Who can? And he did.
Well, he can't. First to last is something sensational, Steve. I'll be coming down to the pits to have a word. I know the bloke who set up your car. I'm coming down to have a word with him.
Graham Fraser, number 142. He's got in front now. Has he got enough horsepower to hang on for one more lap? Because Nugent is going to probably come across the start-finish line in about second or third spot and then have the big chance to chase. Flies down the inside, avoids contact, gets held up a little bit by 167. Graham Ball, Nugent now down the inside, gets the run through turn 1, up into second. Fraser, he's up by turn 4. How long can he hang on before that horsepower of the big V8 gobbles him up? The rest of the field charging through. Making the most of that reverse grid showdown. So Graham Fraser out in front. Rest of the field all trying to get a place on the podium now. 1, 2, 3 cars coming out of turn 5. Andrew Nugent looks like he's got certainly second spot sign up. Graham Fraser, can he hang on? As the rest of the field, that's Greg Dutton and Thorby, Kent Bagent, Mortimer, Severide. This is going around turn 8. They're going to go wide and flow into 9. The leader will be coming out of there, and all of a sudden it's going to be a drag race. Kent, Andrew Nugent, has he got a problem there? He's certainly slowed down. Looks like he may have just had an issue, but he doesn't look like he's gone as quick as he normally is at the moment. So Graham Fraser, number 142, he's bolted. The horse is bolted. He's going to come home in the orange BMW, and he's going to pick up the win. And all of a sudden, Andrew Nugent is going to be struggling to actually make a place on the podium. And it's going to be Graham Ball coming home in second spot. And it's going to be the hard-charging Warwick Mortimer in the 97 car. He's going to get up in front of Bagent, and a limping, ailing Andrew Nugent struggling to make it home. Something went wrong with the V8 right on that last lap. So Graham Fraser gets the win, number 142. 167, Graham Ball takes out second spot. And 97, Warwick Mortimer, the final place on the podium for the open class BMWs. Bagent, Nugent, Severide, Ball, Thorby, Dutton, Patterson, Gordon Legg ended up on the pit road. Started with number 1. And what's happened there with Peter Ball, number 167? He's parked it right down by the entrance in the exit to pit lane with a problem there. That's after he came home in second spot. So at the moment we've got the fast guys on the front for the E30 race. The TV boys know how to go racing, which is great.
Mostly we know how to have fun.
Yes, yes. And if we don't have fun, we just talk it up.
Exactly.
But I tell you what, one guy who's had a lot of fun this weekend is Peter Bennett, the BMW Scholarship winner, number 80. A little bit bogged down at the start here. He's been racing in the rearview mirror, and suddenly he's under pressure going into turn 1. And yes.
Beautiful move, Phil Smurthwaite. He moved it over to sit next to him to stop Shane Dyers coming through.
So now it's going to be all about not having to race in the rearview mirror all the way. So can Bennett make the pass? And watch out for the green machine of Grant Rowe. He got really, really well, didn't he?
Yeah, he got a little tap from the...
I'll tell you what, straight away, Peter Bennett coming back into the racing. Big field as they sweep around the infield for the first time in the E30s for the last time this weekend. Whoa, look at that. Straight diving down into the corner. Number 415.
For about the first 10 years of the series, the middle race of the 3 at the weekend used to be a reverse grid. Not a handicap, just a reverse grid, but it just because you've got 20 or 30 almost identical cars, it caused a bit of carnage, and we've put the panel beaters to one side, and now we've got 3 scratch races.
And plenty of racing up towards turn 11. Lots of action as they head down towards the end of the opening lap. And Peter Bennett pulling out trying to regain the lead, doing a Gordon leg. Changes the lead 3 or 4 times on the first lap. He pulls it back in. Shane Diaz is holding on. Oh, getting a bit wobbly and sideways. They're hanging on to it. Smurthwaite, Bennett, close to the concrete wall there. Bennett's right down the inside. Shane's having a good look. Going down into turn 1. Just getting our timing updated onto the BMW series. It was stuck on the 2K Cup. So Mel's onto it. Good skills. Thank you very much. And now we're back into what's happening here with this very exciting grid showdown in the E30s. There's a couple of little battles all the way through as they stream around.
And most of the field keeping away from the dust, so as not to incur the wrath of Terry.
Well, I think all the BMW guys did that after the Mull chat this morning. But tell you what, good keen racing. Grant Rowe having a look down the inside on the 60 car. 415, Dion Pitt. He's really got the bit between the teeth in this race. 161, Joel Herbert going well as good as well. Shane Geddes straight out of one car into another.
Well, Sebastian Noble, he's the blue car in 4th. A bit of his bumper hanging off. He had a bit of a rub with Grant Rowe.
Here's the braking zone up at the top of the track at turn 11. 2 wide, 4 of them side by side, all coming onto the main straight. Good racing, giving each other plenty of room, and now it's the big slipstream in the drafting and the heat wave.
It was Nick Carpenter in the middle of all that in the Zick car. He didn't have a very good race earlier this morning.
And what was the damage this morning? He was all over the place. Oh, one of them's gone completely wrong.
It's number 7. That used to be Will Gray's car. Now it's Lee Zellweger.
Lee Zellweger just coming in and just completely did the loop-de-loop under brakes coming off the main straight going into the complex.
Shake himself down and carry on. He's not too far behind.
So Smurthwaite still holds on to the lead as they whip over turn 3, the speed shot right in the middle. This is what they term as the start of the uphill part of the track. And then you go around the tight turns 4 and 5, a little bit of a nudge. Come slightly more downhill back into turn 7, which is like a little sort of a hairpin. Smurthwaite gets that run out of there, beautiful cambered corner. And now you get the roll over into turn 8. Then you roll back around to the right-hand side to turn 9. This is where they've got to keep it in between the white lines. And he's watching. He's watching. Look.
Oh, there's dust. There's dust.
Not too much.
Quel horreur.
He's got the mouth open. He's out of breath. Clark of the course has had a breath. Peter Bennett's had a breath. Breath of fresh air. Really going deep and hard. Under brakes. Going to get that tight line around the apex and really put the squeeze. Shane's right behind him. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all coming onto the straight. Big line of BMWs.
Well, you'd be surprised to see a Ford in the middle of it.
No, exactly. But they're very entertaining.
Don't talk dirty.
And look at Bennett. Look at Shane. Shane's trying to muscle his way right round, doing a bit of drifting. Almost gets contact with Peter Bennett.
Well,
Sebastian Noble also joining that party.
While those two are busy fighting each other, it's allowing Phil's a bit of clean air to get away.
Well, Shane got a bit over keen there and he got a bit loose under brakes around the complex. He's lost a bit of time. Sebastian Noble in the blue one has now been able to muscle his way up into 3rd and pinch that spot. And suddenly Shane has gone back from knocking on the door of the lead to being under a sort of a battle for 3rd with 2 other cars. Shane Geddes getting involved there in 747.
Nick Carpenter making another pass just behind them. He's now up behind the Grant Rowe car.
So good racing amongst these E30s, as you can see. 2 wide coming out of turn 7. Bennett still stalking the leader, Smurthwaite. These two guys side by side. Noble's going to have, Shane, a little bit twitchy. That's a nervous part of the track. Ed Belsham actually went off there this morning. Did you find out what happened?
I did, but I'm old. I've forgotten.
That
was this morning.
He had a moment. It was such a long time ago.
I did find out what happened to Peter Bennett yesterday when you put
He said he's just having a through throttle issues.
Yes.
So every once in a while it comes on and off.
Yeah.
And then he sort of like almost had another one of those moments today, but he kept it clean and tidy and kept working on it. 2 by 2 down to the braking zone under the complex. Who's going to yield first? Grant Rowe just in front. Joel Herbert, Nicholas Carpenter. They're 2 wide coming onto the pit straight. Good, neat, tidy racing. 4 laps to go. Bennett stalking Smurthwaite. Herbert down the inside. Going to force Carpenter to go wide. 154.3's the leader. 154.398 for Smurthwaite. 154.389 for Bennett. How close is that? And the rest of the other guys are all in the 154.4s, 154.3 for Geddes. So he's going to be challenging very soon.
Nice move, Nick Carpenter.
Yeah, good. Got down the inside there. Can he make it stick?
Absolutely.
He's got the inside line. No, Herbert's got the inside line for 7. He's going to force Nick wide. Now the drive out of the 7 through into turn 8, and he's got it back.
What a beautiful shot.
Yep, nice flow there. Look at the cars going with the good flow about the circuit here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park too. Great flow.
Quite tricky to get past if you've all got the same power.
Yeah, well, we saw that with certain makes and models like the A1 GP. And of course, it's going to be a real challenge for the drivers in the TRS. It's all about your starting position, like most forms of racing. Is Sebastian Noble trying to do a noble effort to try and hold on for that 3rd spot. Shane is DS. He's really keen to try and recover his lost ground. And cars pulling right over to one side. Look at this.
Cunning move happening up the inside here.
Peter Bennett trying to put the squeeze on Smurthwaite. Noble trying to maintain 3rd from Shane. Gets it nice and loose as they've, hook left, hook right, hook left again. So 3 laps to go. Leaders bumper to bumper. Smurthwaite maintaining that inside line. They're not running too wide. Making sure that if he's going to make the pass, he's going to have to work for it, because we have seen some guys overcook it going into turn 1 over the weekend.
Yep, I don't see either of these two overcooking it.
No, they'll be racing hard and fast, putting on a great display of controlled driving as Peter Bennett gets right behind Smurthwaite. Around turn 5. Now down towards 6 and into 7. Where's he going to position himself? Smurthwaite will have the inside line.
The Demon dive up the inside? No.
No, he's going to block that off. Keeps his racing line good. Makes it smooth and hard and fast for Peter Bennett to get the flow, do the slipstream.
And most importantly, will they keep out of Terry's dust?
Sure they will. Look at that. Beautiful. Good shot. That's coming around 8. It's more when they get round this corner. You can see them just launching hard right. Bennett having a look. Smurthwaite forcing
push him wide.
Yeah, taking that middle line into the corner. Bennett working hard to try and close up the apex. Now it's all about regaining that slipstream. Couple of laps to go after this.
Nick Carpenter seems to have dropped back a bit. He was right up behind Grant Rowe a lap ago.
Having a good battle with Joel Herbert. I wonder if the problems they had in that previous race have just started to come back and make it awkward for him, as Herbert getting right on the back of Rowe.
From the panel beating they were doing, it looked like tyre versus guard.
So Smurthwaite's out there. Should be the last lap. 1 to go. 2 to go.
2 to go.
2 to go. So still a chance to make a move. But it's all about positioning now.
And there's a big red ball card out for somebody. I can't see the number.
Yep, we can't see the last lap ball from our commentary position up here.
But we're confident because there are less laps than we have fingers that there are 2 to go.
67. Carpenter. Here's the battle for the lead.
That won't work, Peter.
While Peter Bennett's been working really hard to get round Phil Smurthwaite, Noble is just starting to come into the picture now to almost make it a 3-way battle. Almost. Not quite close enough. It looks like he's breaking the drafting of Shane back and forth. What's happened to Peter Bennett here? He's got that, there's that throttle issue. Always seems to be up at that part of the track. He always has some sort of issue where he suddenly goes from second or third or first and drops right back into the pack. So it's haunted him again.
So you put your foot to the floor, it cuts out, you take it back to quarter throttle, and then it goes again.
So it's almost like he's trying to reboot it while you're driving.
It's probably controlled by some switch in Phil Smurthwaite's car.
And Shane Noble says, oh, thank you very much. Great. Well, Sebastian Noble and Shane says, thanks very much. So both of them have suddenly, Peter Bennett, for challenging for the lead, is suddenly out of the points at the moment and the place for the top 3.
We'll have a team of high-level race mechanics onto it.
So this is the last lap, and Grant Rowe and Joel Herbert, they've had a really good battle over the weekend. Grant just following the optimum racing line at the moment and making Herbert work really hard to try and get around him here.
Adjusting the rear vision mirror, Grant, that's a good idea. Look, there's someone behind you.
There they are. This is where it could be dangerous. Ooh. Getting right down towards turn 5. Herbert making the move. Can he make it stick?
Oh, look at Nick Carpenter. He's going to stick his nose in there as well.
Get into this one. Grant Rowe's going to have the inside line to try and go late and hard as he can around turn 7. Grant just wobbles it a bit, and Carpenter, oh, talk about steal the show. He's almost got up the inside of both of them. And I think he's pinched a spot from Joel Herbert, who's just been out-muscled there. I wonder if Peter Herbert can regain. No, he can't.
Oh, no, dust.
Ooh, Smurthwaite done a good job. He doesn't want to lose it now. Look at Herbert really trying hard. Trying to regain that lost spot. It's going to be no avail, though. He's going to struggle to try and do that. Smurthwaite now under pressure from Sebastian Noble. This is the Noble last effort to try and take this lead.
Someone had to say that, didn't they?
We did. We did. And I think Smurthwaite, he's certainly got it nicely tidy. Blocked off all the racing lines. Down through 13. Rolls it into 14. Onto the pit straight. Great race. Good job. 47.
Well done, Phil. Big fist pump out the window.
Phil Smurthwaite gets the win. Sebastian Noble comes home for a flying second. Shane Diaz will come home in third. Peter Bennett holds on for fourth. Then it's Grant Rowe, Nicholas Carpenter, Joel Herbert, Alex Edwards, Anthony Tork, Griffin, Belsham, Carpenter, Pitt, Marceau, Thompson, Favour further back down the big field, but he grabbed it on the first corner, kept it working all the way through. And good racing there by the E30s in the BMW Race Driver Series.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
Yep. Good controlled, aggressive driving, wasn't it?
You get that with old men.
Yep. They tapped into it and they delivered big time.
Which is unkind probably to half the field.
And look, he's got the hand out the window. Going to do the lap of glory. Good skills. So that'll be a good way to finish the weekend for him. So the question is, can Graham Ball come from the rear of the field and win the race? Matt Griffin did a great job in the last race.
Spoken sternly to Dave O'Connor, who's in
Oh,
third row of the grid.
Yeah, your mate.
Told him
your mate.
Told him you passed one person last time. I would expect at least 2 this time.
Do what you didn't pass the same person 3 times on the same lap. What happened to Mr. Schultz in the Smoky 21 car? Not sure.
Not sure.
And Mr. Seddon, he was all loose around the place, loose as a goose. I just had some handling issues in that BMW.
Bit too much of the loud pedal on opening lap, I think.
Yeah. And just got a bit loose coming into turn 2. So just resetting the timing now.
Away goes Steve Kahn. Chris Sparks just adjusted the suspension on that car, so I'm expecting great things, Steve.
Grant Schultz had some smoky issues in the previous race. Carter Rankin, he did a really good job, led for almost most of that previous race until they passed him towards the end. So the volunteer behind the wheel.
And Grant Schultz is being followed by his old car, which might be slightly unnerving, especially if it's about to pass him.
In the hands of a novice, in the hands of one of the many volunteers who's decided to, after watching racing for so many years, get behind the wheel and go racing, which has been a great little wee story this weekend and what it's all about. Like these 2 guys on our live stream at the moment via Speedworks and YouTube, number 50 and 39, Sam Dunstall and Rob Wolf.
Harvey Gray away now.
David Whitburn.
E36 Compact, and David Whitburn, how he won our last race.
Yeah, did a great job. Held off all the flyers. Rinkin did a really good job, number 82. Made a good start too, so he's the guy that's been working on the start line as a volunteer around the various tracks. So he's taken off the orange and put on the helmet.
Andrew Sharp and Ross Wilson.
Ross Wilson, they put on a great display of aggressive driving in the previous race.
Michael Kennedy, Matt Griffin. Remaining 4 in pit lane.
So 8 laps, and here goes the last ones with our flag drop. 1, 2, 3.
Andrew Walker. A couple of Seddons. And Graham Ball. Yep.
Seddon combo and Graham Ball, who's been out there having a ball doing double seat time. Racing in the 2K Cup.
Grant Schultz has passed himself.
Well, he's regained his spot in his new car up against his old car after his old car had passed him. Still hasn't sorted out a smoking thing though, has he?
No.
Johnson down to the front straight along with Wolf.
Mike Johnson came out of the last race. I think a lead fell off the fuel pump. One of those classic 20-cent parts.
They can cause so many problems though. So where's our leaders? All spread out around the front of the field.
Speaking of problems, there's his wife Jo. Are we trying to keep her behind him?
That's in the BMW station wagon.
The touring.
The touring car, the touring wagon. So the field coming out of turn 7, Rinkin at the moment. Really good job this weekend. Carter, Schultz, hanging in there. So 93, Steve Kahn. How long can he? Can he hold off the field for at least another 7 or 8 laps? Well, if he does 7, he'll actually take the checkered flag, but that's going to be a big ask, as they say. So now the fast guy starting to come down along pit straight.
Matthew Seddon about to dive up the inside of his father.
He's had the wheels on the old man so far this weekend, although in the previous race, the old man had the wheels because Matt was all over the place.
Had a small indiscretion on the opening lap.
Never really recovered. So the propeller car, number 50.
So
Rob Wolf.
4 fastest cars, 2 4-cylinder E30s and 2 6-cylinder E36s.
And now Schultz is smoking in the Bandits, has gone to the lead here.
Oh, Steve Kahn led for a lap.
And Grant Schultz, your car smoking. I know nothing. I know nothing. And Rinkin, he's enjoying giving up the pointy end of the field with these reverse grid races. So he's making the most of getting. Look at that car just leaning right over. Looks like there's a guard rubbing on the tyre there. You can just see that right rear.
It's his son's company, which I think is a food company that's all over the car.
Oh, there goes Carter. And he carts himself right off onto the grass, into the dust. And he's lost it. He's parked it.
Oh.
Got to get out of there. Otherwise, the old safety car's going to come out. But no, well done.
And the best part of it, Terry was busy reading something and didn't see any of the dust.
The clerk of the course had his head down. He knows nothing, and Carter's done the right thing. He's parked it up by the Armco, so completely out of harm's way. So, unless you're watching live on the live stream, you wouldn't know any better. So now they're all settled down. It's still Schultz, Kahn, Rinkin was there. He's gone. O'Connor, Wolf, Dunstall, Johnson, Downey, Dunstall, Dawson, Gray, Whitburn, Coates, Donaldson and Ross Wilson. So watch out for those ones.
Great little battle here of Rob Wolf and Sam Dunstall.
So yeah, they've been going right since the start of the race.
Yeah.
Similar type machinery.
Hunting down Dr. Dave O'Connor.
Dr. Dave. Good slipstreaming here, but I tell you what, Rob Wolf's got that racing line really nicely nailed there into the complex, making Sam work really hard. Now, where's our leader, Grant Schultz, just smoking his way around
Turn one.
Turn one. 93, Steve Kahn hanging on to second while he can.
And a bit of a domestic about to happen at turn one. Joe Johnson's just dived up the inside of Mike Johnson.
Husband and wife combo. Rest of the flyers coming right down onto the end of the main straight. One of them overcooked at Grant Rowe, I think. Ooh.
He's not brave enough to finish in front of her.
The higher car just got slightly too high with the braking. All spread out. 5 laps to go. Grant Paul not really making a big impact on the rest of the field at the moment, is he, from the rear of the field? Trying to come round turn one. There's one of the Series 1 cars. This guy has had a good weekend so far.
Andrew Sharp. Beautiful looking, the higher car, isn't it?
Yep. He must be on target to make up some good spots here, although I think in front of him we've got Ross Wilson, who's been very, very good. Very good speed. 145 for Ross Wilson, 151 for Dave Whitburn, previous race winner.
Well, these handicap races require a little bit of luck, a little bit of skill driving in traffic, and just the right amount of money handed over to the handicapper.
Yeah.
I failed on all 3.
Right. He's the
Smoky Schultz about to sign off another lap.
He's done a good job. He's hanging on. Fastest man out there at the moment is Matt Seddon in 71. He's done a 144.3. Graham Ball a 145.1. Matt Seddon Martin Seddon a 145.1. Griffin and Wilson all in the 145s. But at the moment it's still Schultz. 4.2 second lead. Car 21. Hanging on to it, Stephen Kahn as long as he can. Dave O'Connor, 56. And then the fast-flying
Rob Wolf.
Going to pick up 3rd spot at the moment.
No, says Dave O'Connor.
999, Matt Griffith on your screen. He's doing a pretty good job. He's been pretty quick so far.
Great drive in traffic. There's Graham Ball.
Graham Ball, he's second quickest, a 144.5. And the rest of the field.
He's passed one of the Seddons.
Schultz has finally given up the lead. He's had a moment, and it's gone. Going, Smokey in the Bandit.
It's Mrs. Johnson, having dispensed with Mr. Johnson, is off in search of the lead. Schultz is slowing.
Yep. In fact, it might be the time to actually park it. Out of harm's way. And that's exactly
And parked it he has.
do. Well done on the tarmac. And that's good, smart driving by Carter Rinken and also Grant Schultz. They had their moment in the sun to lead the race early on, but now it's back to Steve Cart again. He can.
He can.
Old Steve Cart can. But how long can he? Dave
O'Connor up to second.
Yes.
Could he be making a move on Steve Kahn?
Take a photo. He's going to make a pass here.
Battle of the heavyweights of the series, this is.
So coming down to the corner.
Oh, no, you have it. Oh, go on, old boy, you have it. All right, I'll take it.
Right, there they go.
Dr. Dave surges into the lead.
Cuts like a knife. 3 laps to go.
Harvey Gray and Ross Wilson, I think, have these lined up in their sights.
Here comes Ross Wilson. Watch out for him in the number 30 car. So it's Schultz. Good to see our volunteers going over to make sure that he's okay and the car's all right. Very good livery, that. Certainly stands out. O'Connor's going to hold on for the lead, but for how long? So we've got 3 laps to go, and it's all going to change here with the handicap race and the BMW 2 leaders. They're all lining up for their chance to go to the big darts.
They're all lining nicely up behind Dave O'Connor, and they'll stay there.
He's going to
For a
make
wee
it
while.
wide.
Good
For how
work,
long,
Dave.
though? Good keen racing. Good racing in the E30s. Now the BMW 2 leaders.
Andrew Sharp's pulled himself into 4th, and he, by the time they get back to the start-finish, I think that Sharp car will be at the sharp end.
And I think Ross Wilson, number 30, is going to be hunting him
Lurking
down.
in the background, he says
Yep.
into 5th.
Here he comes. There goes the Sharp car round the outside. Ross Wilson's going to just lock it up and try and do the same thing. Just go around the outside. Keep going, Ross. Keep going. Take the wide line.
That's what the good girls do, isn't it? Go around the outside.
Go around the outside like you do at Western Springs.
Square dancing, I was thinking of.
Okay, you can do that as well. Here we go, down. Matt Griffith, he's got some speed as well. Here come one of the Seddons. So now those fast boys from the back really starting to mix it. We'll have a couple of laps to go, and then she's all on. It's all on right now, actually. So Sharp's got the lead. Wilson second, Griffin third, Seddon fourth. Fast boys are at the front. Graham Ball working his way as they lock it up into turn 1. He gets around the inside of O'Connor.
It's a gentleman, Dave. He'll get out of the way.
Yeah, then he's going to block up the rest of the traffic here.
As a gentleman would.
As you do. So the fast boys
So Ross
are out in
Wilson
front.
is in the lead now.
But for how long? Because Matt Griffin is really hunting him down. So another lead change as they swamp into 7. So Ross Wilson has got up there. Matt Griffin around the outside, number 99. Through the back down the field. Look at that. Sunday afternoon. Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. And they're all having a crack going into turn 7. Ross Wilson has taken off out in front. The mid-pack battle. It's like trying to get on the motorway at Green Lane.
I suspect it may not be a podium.
Whoa!
Whoa, Ross.
Big moment. That was well and truly past turn 9. And Ross Wilson. Unfortunately, I think the Dust Bowl has been resurrected.
Terry may notice a dust bowl that size.
The Eagle has landed. He had noticed.
There may be talking tos involved in this.
So Seddon is coming down to the start-finish line. Through the braking into the complex.
One lap to go after this.
Yeah, Matt Griffin. He's having
He'll have
a
all
real
the
good
skill,
crack.
but he won't have the power and speed, I would think, of Matthew Seddon.
Well, for a guy that was struggling in the last race, remember, after starting from the rear of the grid and getting off to a bad start, had a spin around turn 2. He's pulled it back together again. Looks like Ross Wilson has got going and cleared himself out of harm's way at between turn 9 and turn 10, probably around about turn 10. The dust bowls settled down, which is good.
Now these two in the lead have a ball lurking in the background.
No reaction from the clerk of the course when I smiled about the dust bowls cleared. He just took his cap off and
sighed. And said, you don't get this sort of shambolic nonsense with other classes. I'll be speaking to you later, boy.
So here we go. Paul's having a crack. Matt Griffin's up there. Matt Seddon's up there. So here they go. Beautiful racing. Now the fast boys have got some clear track right at the front. You'll have to have a chat with Ross Wilson to see exactly what happened.
I will.
Was he assisted? There's the higher car, Sharp, and the rest of the field working their way back up.
Michael Kennedy, Marty Seddon.
But it's going to be Matthew Seddon, number 71. What a great recovery. Matt Griffin, he's been quick all weekend. Graham Ball, number 1. That's why he's got the number 1. He's always quick. And it's going to be 71, though, from a big spin in race 2 to a good comeback. And he'll take the checkered flag in race 3. Matt Griffin, he'll get the biscuits in second. Graham Ball will come home and wrap up a place on the podium.
And the satisfaction of still leading in the championship.
That's what it's all about. Sharp rounding out the top 4. Then it's Marty Seddon, Michael Kennedy, Dunstall. No, Whitburn's going to get up there ahead of Dunstall.
And then Andrew Walker and Craig Coates.
Then Harvey
Gray.
Gray. Then Rob Wolf. And the rest of the field will follow in gentlemanly fashion back towards pit lane.
Mr. Johnson following Mrs. Johnson home.
Well, that'll be great. They'll have lots to talk about. Well done, number 71. Matthew Seddon gets the win. So we'll take a look at the replay, some of the action here from the highlights of what happened with the... Whoa, he's just gone. That was a weird way, wasn't it?
It looked like all his own work.
Well, it looked like he'd either got loose coming out of 8 and was almost missing 9 before he
Let's have another look at it.
Got to the corner. So if you look, he's going completely off the track by turn 9, isn't he?
He is.
So it almost like he was loose at turn 8 and hadn't got the chance to actually make that right-hand hook. And straight over the ripples.
I suspect that he was trying to go round the outside of Matt Griffin.
Yep.
And because it's off camber, that's just not going to work.